Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Today is Friday, September 6th, and in just a few hours, the Yankees will begin a 3-game set against the Chicago Cubs from the friendly confines at Wrigley Field. Just 22 games remaining. And the Yankees don't have that easy of a schedule. And even if they did, they would probably play down to their competition. But they play the Royals, who have been playing well this year, the Red Sox, who always give them trouble, the Mariners, the Athletics, the Orioles, and the Pirates. And I got to say, I'm just not super confident. The Royals, with Bobby Witt Jr., are dangerous. The Orioles have dominated them in 2 of their 3 series this year. The Red Sox are always a battle. I think they'll beat the Pirates because they tend to beat up on the Pirates, but I think they'll struggle against the Athletics because that's what they do. They should be about 5 or 6 games up right now. That's where we should be. But instead, they are a half game behind because for months they have refused to go with an actual closer like we have all suggested. A lot of us since March, we knew this was going to be a problem. But Luis Gil returning to the rotation today. He is 12-6. He still has an outside chance to make the Rookie of the Year, to win the Rookie of the Year, but I think he pretty much needs to go undefeated down the stretch. 3-0 with maybe 3 dominating outings to get there. Otherwise, it's probably going to come down to either Austin Wells or Colton Cowser. Cowser right now is the betting favorite if you look online. He's got a little bit more power. He's got 20 home runs so far. Wilyer Abreu from the Red Sox has an outside shot too. But it's probably going to come down to Cowser or Austin Wells. Cowser hitting .245, 20 dingers, 767 OPS, 2.3 WAR according to Baseball Reference. Austin Wells actually has a higher WAR according to Baseball Reference, 2.5. Higher average than Cowser, 251. Less home runs, 8 less dingers. He's got 12 home runs and a 774 OPS, so more damage overall. We'll see how it shakes out, but, Luis Gil has a shot if he can catch fire down the stretch. Honestly, I would not be opposed to them putting him in the bullpen, and just seeing what he's got down there. And Jason Dominguez remains on fire at AAA. He is at it again. He is now hitting .318. He's got 11 home runs in 214 at-bats and an OPS hovering around 900. It's at 898, you see there. There's really no excuse at this point to not have him in the lineup. We all love Alex Verdugo's 19 hoppers through the right side of the infield once per week, but this kid is a real one, and it's time to call him up and inject some life into this team. 16 stolen bases, too, so he can run a little bit. The Yankees not doing so is just a sign that they're more concerned with Alex Verdugo's feelings and his impending free agency, in which the Yankees will not be a participant, let's be honest about that, than they are about their chances of winning and about giving one of their top prospects a real shot. So, it is what it is. This is the organization that we have chosen to invest our time and love into, and hopefully they get it together at some point. All right, let's get to your voicemails.
I live in New York City. I cannot believe you had the balls to do it.
Hey, Derek. It's Tommy from Brooklyn. Just wanted to give you a call. We don't have too much to be happy about. Last 5 games or so. The one bright spot I will say has been Jazz. He's got 10 hits in his last 19 at-bats, so 20 at-bats, with an RBI, 5 steals. The guy was a great pickup for us. Not the only bright spot over the last 5 games. We got to get rid of Holmes, man.
Appreciate the call. We've talked about Holmes ad nauseum, so I'm going to pass on that for right now because I don't feel like throwing up thinking about him. But Jazz Chisholm has been one of Brian Cashman's better moves. And Cashman is one of those GMs that just frustrates me because he does so many things that are unorthodox, like leaving players in the minor leagues, Dominguez, Peraza, and then he's made some trades where, we got like Luke Voigt for practically nothing. And, he came on the scene and was great. Matt Carpenter picking him up off the scrap heap, and he went on that unbelievable streak. We got the last ounce of baseball out of him. David Justice, Aaron Small, Jazz Chisholm now. There's been a lot of good ones, but there's also been a lot of duds. Carl Pavano, Jacoby Ellsbury. I guess with 25 years at any job, you're going to have some ups and downs. But I agree with you that Jazz Chisholm seems to have been a great trade. We'll see how Augustin Ramirez works out with the Marlins. But Chisholm seems like he's built for Yankee Stadium. And since the moment he's arrived, he's been giving me Didi Gregorius vibes. Just a likable, fun guy with a swing that is built for Yankee Stadium. And by the way, he doesn't try and pull it every single time. We've seen him shoot the ball the other way a number of times. So I think Jazz Chisholm is going to be a long-term Yankee. They're going to have to re-sign him at some point, lock him in for third base. And, looking at what Matt Chapman got, $151 million in an extension, they better sign him before he becomes a free agent. Extend him for several years so that you don't have to overpay when he becomes a free agent. But it's clear to me that Jazz Chisholm is a perfect fit for Pinstripes.
Okay. Clark Schmidt comes in and closes because he's great through the rotation once or maybe even twice. The Martian gets called up because Verdugo gets cold. Thank you. Great show.
So what I think you meant to say was Clark Schmidt gets through the lineup at least one time, usually without having any kind of issues, usually twice. And I want to see how he looks out of the bullpen. I could see them, and this is a very unorthodox thing to do these days, going with a 2-inning closer, 8th and 9th for Clark Schmidt. And look, he's not going to want to do it because he's a starting pitcher. And, when you've got a starter, they have this routine. They like their days off to get ready. But Clark also seems like the kind of guy who will just, like Jazz Chisholm, do whatever you tell him to do and give it his best shot. I love his attitude. There was a time where I didn't like Clark Schmidt because he was not a good pitcher, but I've always liked his attitude. I've always felt like he's a worker, and I like him out of the bullpen, but I also like him out of the rotation, so it's going to be a tough decision for the Yankees. And as far as the Martian goes, yeah, we've talked about that a lot. He should be playing over Verdugo 100%.
Hey, Marissa from Long Island. Haven't left the voicemail in a little minute because, everyone gets my thoughts out. But what an embarrassment. I don't think I've ever been this embarrassed to be a Yankees fan. Like, pitching is horrible. Mark Leiter was not the answer. Trevino behind the plate, he's getting old. I just don't know. I don't know what to say about this team anymore.
Well, Marissa, I don't know how old you are. You sound pretty young, but I can tell you a little bit about 2004, which was peak embarrassment for Yankees fans, blowing the 3-0 ALCS lead. I remember by the third or fourth inning of Game 7 when the Red Sox were up, 10-2 or something like that. My phone had 72 missed calls because people were just calling me. This is back when I was in college. Everybody knew I was a Yankees fan. This was pretty much before texting. And so people would have to call and talk shit verbally. And I had so many voicemails that my voicemail box filled up. And that to me was peak embarrassment as a Yankees fan. So it can get worse. And you never know. Maybe they'll pull this thing out. We still got a chance. But I agree with you. Very frustrated right now.
Hey, Derek. Erik from West Virginia. This is just a random thought. When did the Yankees stop playing the best players? And when was there ever, when did the fear go away from getting called down? I'm thinking Labor in 21. I remember saying, put him back in the minors. He needs a break. He's not playing well. But we've gone away from that. This is professional baseball. It's hard. You were a baseball player. You understand the game tells you when to stop. I had to stop at 15 because I was terrible. Because that's life. I don't understand, when did the Yankees stop? When did what you do on the field stop mattering? I don't understand. Any thoughts on that?
So not everybody can get sent down, right? It's not like they can just send Alex Verdugo down to AAA and swap him with Jason Dominguez. Or it's not like they can send down, Marcus Stroman when he's struggling. Once you have a major league contract and you're out of what they call option years, you're just on the major league roster, and the only way to be removed from the roster is to be traded or DFA'd or just outright released. I think it does matter. I think that the Yankees want their guys to perform. They know that their guys are not performing. There's just not a lot that they can do about it because Hal Steinbrenner doesn't want to waste money, right? He doesn't want to pay for players to not be here anymore. Like we're already paying Aaron Hicks. We're probably still paying Ellsbury in some fashion. Actually, no, I think that's over. But, I agree with you that there needs to be accountability, but sending guys down, just not an option for everyone.
Martha from Long Island. Lately, I just feel like these Yankees, they have, no hustle, no heart. I just feel like, they go into these games thinking they're going to win, but then they get, absolutely, annihilated.
There's definitely been a palpable lack of urgency and lack of intensity over the last several weeks. And I think that rubs fans the wrong way because most of us work our asses off all day long, and these guys are playing a game. Now, I get it that some of these guys are probably pretty tired because we talked about earlier this year how they were running everybody out there pretty much every single day. We're getting more playing time out of our guys than we've got in recent years. But I think that that's starting to show itself a little bit here in September. Guys look tired, and they need to get it together. I mean, if you need to give somebody a rest, give somebody a rest. I'd rather have them rest for a day or two than stink for 2 weeks. Quick word from our sponsor, Orgain, and then I'll be back with your voicemails.
We're looking for real ways to boost our nutrition and just found a protein shake that actually tastes amazing. It's called Orgain, and it's been a game changer.
Orgain is the leader in real protein-powered nutrition that understands that being good for you doesn't have to taste bad. It's the organic ingredients we're looking for, but I don't want a grainy battle with my taste buds every day. You know what I'm saying? It's giving smooth milkshake vibes. That's Orgain, and they have a brand new 30-gram complete protein shake that offers protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings without all the sugar.
It gives me energy, provides muscle support, and helps manage hunger too. It's also made without soy ingredients and made with no artificial flavors or sweeteners.
Orgain 30-gram protein shakes are available at Costco and Orgain.com. If you want to get in on the delicious protein-packed nutrition today, head to Orgain.com/foul and use the code FOUL for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Orgain.com/foul for 20% off. And make sure you use promo code FOUL so they know FT sent you.
Man, I don't know of a Yankee team that comes to memory anyway that constantly just plays down to their competition with this much talent. The team has so much talent, probably the best pitcher in the American League, the two best position players in the American League, and they can't beat a team under 500. It blows my mind. It's really wild, honestly, but what are you going to do? Luckily, they have the best record against teams above 500, and that's what they're going to be playing in October. So I'm looking forward to that anyway. Hopefully we can figure out this closer situation. I'm just curious. I've heard a lot of people saying they were hoping to go with Luis Gil since it has to be solved internally now at this point, since Cashman just screwed up the entire trade deadline without getting any real bullpen arms. So, just curious to see what you thought and what our move should be moving forward as far as closer is concerned.
When you consider the closing options that the Yankees have, I think you have to stick with the basic ABC here. Anyone but Clay. Anyone but Clay. ABC. Remember that. Anyone but Clay.
Derek, my name's Till. I'm calling from Baltimore, and I tell you how much I enjoy listening to you. You're a really, really great job. I'm a hardcore Oriole fan, like you're a hardcore Yankee fan. But the reason I'm calling and listening to your team today, it sounds like our team exactly. I was watching the White Sox for the whole year. This year, tonight was an example. We came out very indifferent, very lackadaisical, not committed to winning, and we showed it. But we're just as inconsistent as you are and mediocre, a very, very mediocre team. And one more thing would be interesting, Adley Rutschman's hit 167 since June the 28th, has 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Now, my nephew's a billion tech guy, had that information. He figured it out.
Well, I am thoroughly looking forward to this final series between the Yankees and the Orioles. Thanks for the kind words. I knew that Adley Rutschman had taken a little bit of a dip, but I had no idea it was that bad. I also know that you guys have had some issues in the closer role as well. You're at least getting Batista back next year, so he should return to form. Should be a great series when the Orioles come to town. We'll see how much space divides these two teams at that point. But this has honestly been one of the more fun pennant races in recent years. I'm a little bit stressed at this point. I'm a little bit tired. It's nerve-wracking, but it should be a great finish here, hopefully.
Unbelievable. Yeah, how'd you like that Verdugo chugging down the line on the base pads there from home to first? Yeah, good thing I praised him the other day for beating out that chopper down the third baseline, huh?
It takes no skill to hustle, and I think that's why Yankees fans get frustrated. I think a lot of guys on this team hustle their ass off every time that they hit the ball in play. Jazz Chisholm, Anthony Volpe, Aaron Judge. And so it becomes that much more obvious, that much more of a contrast when you see somebody jogging down to first base. And that's why it's so noticeable. And it's frustrating. And I don't think Dominguez would do that. So we'll see how the Yankees handle all of this. Thanks for watching. Reminder, it's an early game today, 2:20, so I'll be back with the recap around 5-something. Here comes the NostraDerek prediction. All right, I may be going out a little bit on a limb today because he's coming back off the IL, but I'm predicting a big day from Luis Gil. I think he's going to get 8+ strikeouts, and I don't think he's going to require many innings to do it. Let's say 5 innings, 2 runs, and here's the prediction: 8+ strikeouts on the day for Luis Gil in his return to the rotation.
Ball game over.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.